GameSHOUT Radio is property of GameSHOUT, a company of Red Planet LLC. All rights reserved. Executive producer, Andy Hodges. For live broadcast booking information, syndication, or advertising, email info@GameSHOUT.com. All comments expressed on the show are not necessarily those of GameSHOUT, Red Planet LLC, its advertisers, guests, or syndication affiliates. All music is licensed by ASCAP and BMI. Recordings of this broadcast prohibited without prior written consent.
And welcome back to GameSHOUT Radio. This is Captain Maverick along with Soulrift and Josh Britt over there. And, well, we're so glad to be with you here today. Guys, it's another week. And we got a lot ahead for you today. Did I hit the mic button, or was I hitting the wrong button?
You hit, like, the double volume button there.
Yeah, you hit
no
the
way.
volume loud button. Oh, yeah.
You hit the what the f*** on your ears.
Well, hey, needless to say, we have a lot of fun for you today, and tell you a little bit about what we got ahead for you. We're going to talk a little bit about Microsoft and Bungie going their own separate ways. And, oh, guys, I'm telling you what, if you are possibly going to get a Nintendo Wii for the holidays, you better shop early, because old Reggie, he says there aren't going to be enough to go around for the holidays this year. And on top of that, they're giving out Wiimote condoms. Yeah, that's right. These little rubber gloves for the Wiimotes. We'll tell you more about that later, too. BioWare and Pandemic, they're going to be joining forces with EA. We'll tell you more about that. And, well, you think gods and heroes are immune? No, they've just been suspended. We'll tell you a little bit about that. And, well, one of the things that I'm kind of getting into lately is Team Fortress 2 and Half-Life 2 Episode 2 and Portal. Well, we're going to give you a juicy slice of the orange box. And on top of everything else, GameSHOUT is making a guest appearance next week. That's right, GameSHOUT will be up in Michigan. We're going to be visiting the Muskegon Community College for the Halo 3 celebration. Finish the fight. That's right, Muskegon Community College. I am Master Chief. That's right, Wednesday the 17th of October from 1 until 7 p.m. is the celebration. That's in Muskegon, Michigan. And, well, Captain Maverick and Islander are going to be there from 3 to 5. That's 3 to 5 p.m. And we'll be giving away prizes, and there's refreshments, and they're going to have big screen TV set up with all 4 levels of gameplay and some co-op play and Xboxes and Zunes to give away. Oh, there's so much stuff going on. I'm not going to be able to tell you all in one show. So there's a lot of great stuff going on. And then to top everything else off, we even have some wacky news for you later on in the show. So a lot of great stuff going on today. So guys, it's been a good week for gaming, but some interesting stuff going on in the news. And I think to top all of that all off, this Microsoft and Bungie splitting up. I mean that threw me for a loop, Josh.
Yeah, the Microsoft and Bungie split is completely something nobody really saw coming here. It was rumored for a while, and all of a sudden, blam, out of the blue, it hit.
Well, what was the main reason behind it? I mean, what was Bungie's biggest concern?
Well, Bungie did release a press release. Release a press release. According to Bungie and Microsoft, today announced a plan for Bungie Studios developers of the Microsoft Halo franchise to become a privately held independent company. Basically what happened is most of the Bungie employees and stockholders went and bought the stock and the investments out from under Microsoft, giving them the leverage to be able to leave at this point in time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. From there, basically Bungie has basically saw themselves in a position and stance to say, look, we don't want to keep doing the one-trick Halo pony here. We want to actually move on into new things and better things. Specifically, Jason Jones, Bungie founder and partner, went on to say working with Microsoft was great for us. It allowed us to grow as a team, make the ambitious blockbuster games we all wanted to work on. And they will continue to be a great partner, but Bungie is like a shark. We have to keep moving in order to survive. We have to continually test ourselves, or we might as well be dolphins or manatees.
Like a shark. Oh, wow. And you don't want to be manatees. They get chopped under propellers, okay? But I also understood that Halo, or excuse me, that the Microsoft, they wanted to keep the Halo franchise in-house.
They did, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think if anyone does the next Halo game, and come on, folks, there is going to be at least a Halo 4 here at some point in time, then Bungie will be the ones to do it. As it stands now, Bungie will be doing different games and will be releasing those solely on the Xbox 360 for the time being. Probably that's going to be changing here soon. I mean, they're no longer, Microsoft specific anymore. And it's funny because people have seen this coming for years now. When Bungie initially got bought out by Microsoft, they got forced into Microsoft offices. After that, once Halo 2 hit, they're like, you know what, screw this. We're going to do our own place, our own thing at our place farther away. So they bought their own studio. Now what we're looking at is them basically finishing off this secession from the Microsoft studios, making their own studio now. They're independent. So we're going to be seeing some new, interesting things from Bungie in the years to come here.
And they're going to do some things on different platforms, too, I would assume, because now they're not going to be limited to just the Xbox 360, are they?
They're not limited to, but I think their current, probably the contract between Microsoft and Bungie as they left at the moment, and I think just for the time being as Bungie itself, is to use Microsoft as a publisher, which, come on, it's going to be Xbox 360 here. We're not going to be seeing Bungie games on the PS3 anytime soon, nor will we see it on the Nintendo Wii. It's going to take a few years before Bungie starts branching off into other consoles and other areas.
But what about the Mac?
Oh,
stuff?
come on.
I mean, didn't Bungie originally start off making Mac games like Marathon? Do you think that they are going to go back to making Mac stuff?
I could see it happening. No, that I think will be more of a likelihood before we see it doing other things. But then again, you know what? Even under Microsoft, they were still doing Mac games. Halo for the PC, and then there was Halo for the Mac. They actually did release Halo on the Macintosh years ago. I think the problem is that Microsoft, with Halo 2, the reason we won't see that on the Mac is Microsoft nailed wanted to use it as a Windows Vista Live for Windows, whatever crap. So I don't think we're going to see much for the Mac coming up here. I don't think, and here's the problem, is I don't think they're going to make exclusively for the Mac. If they do make a game, because unfortunately, folks, let's face it, there's not a big enough gaming base on the Mac to be able to support a company to make a decision to make a game solely for the Mac. They may go the Blizzard route, where they're making games for the PC and the Mac, and perhaps even the next generation consoles. You're definitely going to see some Windows Live games as well as Xbox 360 games coming out of Bungie. But I wouldn't put it past them to start putting some stuff out on the Mac. I don't think that they're going to deny the Mac base at all.
Oh, but I'm bumming. I want to see Master Chief. Whee! Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Also, it's not like there isn't anything. I mean, for the Halo fanboys, this isn't the end of the world. I mean, as it stands right now, we have Halo Wars coming out next year. We have what's his name, Peter Jackson's Halo Chronicles coming out in the next year or so here. So it's not like the Halo series is not going to be seeing any treatment for the next couple of years. It's just that Bungie's stepping away for the time being, and we're going to be seeing some other Halo projects come up and come out in the next couple of years. In the meantime, maybe we'll start seeing some, more movement towards the Halo film. But as that one stands right now, that is completely and utterly dead. That has been dead for like the last 7 months. So I don't know. It's an interesting time. We're going to see what happens. It was funny that it got rumored and then 24 hours later confirmed. So we'll see what goes on here. I'm interested to see what Bungie does next.
Well, we're hanging on for the ride, man. It's an interesting situation. It was a surprising split, but I guess I think it's going to be for the best, because I think it allows for more artistic freedom for Bungie, and I think it allows for I guess Microsoft to they always like to be the boss, and Bungie really never ever did like having a boss, did they?
No, I mean, it's definitely for the best. I mean, it was a good business proposition when they initially got bought out by Microsoft, but now they have a giant team. You know, a lot of these people aren't the originators of the company as to when it came out. So, you know, it was either Bungie end up, you know, doing this, or a lot of the people who have pretty much helped to make these games so far could have just left and started their own company. I mean, Alex Seropian, the co-founder of Bungie Studios, ended up leaving and starting his own Wide Load Games. And I wouldn't be surprised if this didn't go through, that a lot of these people would have done it. The only downside is that, you know, you work for 5, you know, more like 10, 12, 15 years on a company. You know, it builds a name for itself, and I don't think they wanted to give up that name just yet. You know, Bungie becomes synonymous with Halo, but they want to be able to make Bungie synonymous with other games, because, you know, it's been years since they've done something other than Halo. And I think they're getting sick of it, and they want to do something different. As much as the rest of us, and myself included, would love to see them do Halo 4. It's going to be a while before I think we see another Halo, continuation of the Halo's franchise, or series, if you may.
Hey, yeah, no, if everybody has, or some fanboys have their way, it would be Halo forever. You know, seriously. But yeah, that's I can see their point, and I don't know. I see a lot of Halo on the horizon still, but yeah, definitely good. I like a lot of what I'm looking forward to in Halo, but I also like the creativity that Bungie is going to be able to have going forward. So I think this is probably a good thing.
And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Halo fanboy, and you know, I mean, I think it's a good thing that they're not already going into another Halo game at the moment, because if you look at what happened with Halo 3, it's a juggernaut. It is a juggernaut that continually picks up steam and keeps going. It is huge, and you know, the problem is that everybody's looking to Halo. Everyone's looking to Halo, but they're missing out on some of the other games that are coming out around that time. Like, you know, BioShock had just come out with, you know, a month prior. Mass Effect's coming out here soon, but the problem is everyone's looking at Halo. So it's nice that it gives us a chance to break away from what everyone else is doing, to go do, you know, something else. Go see what else is going on. Pick your head up, poke it out, check out the weather. It's pretty nice out.
All right. Well, hey, let's jump on over to Soulrift, because he and I were talking a little bit earlier. Gods and Heroes. Soulrift, you have been playing the beta of Gods and Heroes. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, you know that I'm always following the whole MMO scene, right? And so,
yeah, big MMO man.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the games that caught my attention was one called Gods and Heroes by Perpetual Entertainment, which is an MMO set in sort of Roman Imperial Rome time, like 100, 200 AD, and you play essentially sort of this. You know how the whole pantheon of gods and the whole mythology of Greece and Rome all works together? Well, if you do, then you get this idea that sometimes gods have kids with humans, and then they have these sort of demigod children, which then have kids with humans, and then have, like, I don't know, what's a fourth of a god or whatever, and slowly the god blood or whatever can disseminate into people, and they only have like a fraction of godliness left in them or whatever.
Like
but anyway,
quarter gods and
yeah,
quarter horses,
quarter gods and eighth gods and whatever. You play essentially sort of a long descendant of a god. And so you have like minor godlike powers, so you're immortal, and you know, it's a pretty good power to have, especially if you're playing a game where you get killed all the time. But you can also invoke your parent god's powers eventually when you earn their favor. But otherwise, it plays like a pretty standard MMO. And the other big feature that they were adding into this one that I thought was pretty unique is this sort of a minion system. Throughout the game, you recruit regular people as minions, and they kind of join a party with you, and you can expand your parties. You go up levels and complete quests, and you level up all of your minions. So, you know, if you have 2 minion slots, you might bring in 2 of your minions, and then they get XP whenever you get XP, and then you've got to switch them out and take some other minions to level them up as well. So it's sort of an interesting take on the MMO, where you'd have your main character just like every other game. You'd also have your army of minions, and of course you'd still team up and party with other players and accomplish big quests and whatnot. And it looked like it was a pretty good design to the game. The game was kind of cool, but to be honest, it looked a bit rudimentary. It looked like a bit of a garage game. Didn't have the polish that MMOs kind of have to have ever since Blizzard put out World of Warcraft. And well, apparently Perpetual has just has officially announced back this Monday that they're going to be putting Gods and Heroes on hold indefinitely as they try and put their company back together again. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is this maybe to kind of switch engines, or to kind of they give you any real information as to why?
Well, they say that in their official release, they say that they took a step back to evaluate the competitive landscape, and while they are truly proud and pleased with what they had created in Gods and Heroes, they realize that achieving the level of quality and polish that they are committed to will take a significant investment. I think they're looking for more money.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense. So it could be that they're looking for an updated engine that's going to give them the polish that they're looking for in the game itself.
I don't think it's just an engine or technical issue. I think it's more a money issue, being able to hire enough artists to produce all the art of a sufficiently high quality. I don't know if Perpetual had a publisher for their game. They may be pulling back and going into talks with different publishers, or maybe they're looking for a big company to buy them out. It's certainly been going on quite a bit, these buyouts recently.
Yeah, there have been quite a few lately, haven't there? Okay, well, I guess, wait a minute, let's bring that one back up.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, that's about right, isn't it?
Yeah, there's been another big purchase recently concerning video game companies.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, good point. That was
EA. The new mega giant gaming company, Electronic Arts, has acquired
mega giant,
BioWare.
huge, monstrous. Yeah, BioWare.
Ching.
Yeah, here. Wait a minute. Let's try it again here.
There you go. They've acquired BioWare and Pandemic. There you go.
Is it ever going to end?
Well, EA's certainly been buying up a lot of companies recently. I mean, they've picked up EA Mythic, Mythic Entertainment, the makers of Dark Age of Camelot. They hired them, and of course, Mythic's working now on the MMORPG of Warhammer Online. And now they've picked up BioWare, who's going to be putting out Mass Effect, and Pandemic, who made Didn't Pandemic do Dark Reign way back when? No, or is that Auron? I'm thinking of a different company, aren't I?
No, I'm going to have to do a little research on that and bring that up to you. Here, hold on. Here I am back to my research here.
Yeah.
Because Pandemic, they did, let's see, Destroy All Humans, Full Spectrum Warrior, Mercenaries. They did the Star Wars Battlefront, Clone Wars.
I remember now. They did, they did Dark Reign 2. Not the original Dark Reign was by a different company.
They did Dark Reign 2. That's right.
Yeah. So hey, I wasn't completely off.
Yeah, that was back in June of 2000.
2000, yeah, I remember that.
Good man. Good. Yeah, you did remember that. It's good. Yeah, Mercenaries and Mercenaries 2 War in Flames.
And of course, they also did the Star Wars Battlefront series.
Yep, the Battlefront 2, and Clone Wars.
BioWare, of course, is close to the heart of many old-school RPG gamers because they did Neverwinter Nights.
Yeah, big time.
And, of course, they did all the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and RPGs on that line. So it's an interesting how EA is picking up these big companies.
And then they also did the Jade Empire and Baldur's Gate, and what else did they do?
Jade Empire wasn't that good, though.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I'm not. You don't want to bring up Jade Empire when you're talking about BioWare's successes.
Well, I wasn't talking about their success. I was just talking about their projects.
Just their games, yeah. Okay, so
I'm just wondering if we're ever going to see EA release any of their captives down the line.
Well, oh no, EA's also bought DICE when they made Battlefield 2. Man, EA really has been buying up a lot of companies. A lot of these little developers. Maybe, maybe, what's it called? I forgot the name already. Perpetual, the makers of Gods and Heroes, is trying to get bought up by EA.
That's not a bad idea. I wonder. Now, Perpetual, they were also working on Star Trek Online series too, weren't they?
Right. I mean, they didn't have a beta for it, as far as I know. I never really found any information tossed my way about the Star Trek Online. It seems like whatever they're trying to do, they're trying to focus on Star Trek Online and put Gods and Heroes on the back burner until they get one of their two projects out the door.
Yeah. The Star Trek Online, they ended up bringing in the last news that we had on it was a year ago, and that was when they brought in a senior illustrator. Who was it? That's right. It was Andrew Probert, and I don't know if he's still. He joined as the design consultant, senior design consultant. So I don't know if he's still on or not. But don't know what's going on with that. It's nothing new has come out since, like I said, about a year ago.
Yeah. So what else is on the news board?
Well, let's go over to a little bit of Wii news. All right. Like I said, if you haven't gotten your Nintendo Wii for the holiday season, you're going to want to start shopping now. Reggie said in an interview with San Jose Mercury News that, he is certain that they are not going to be able to meet the demand for the Wiis for the holiday season. And, of course, as you might understand, the Wii will not be joining Microsoft and Sony in dropping their prices and pants for the holiday season. They will not be joining in on the price war. It will still continue to be $249 because they can. It's he says that they started out with an aggressive production curve and they were not able to keep up with the overwhelming demand. The demand has not eased up very much. He also said that he believes that the demand for the Wii will only pick up this holiday season. Of course, that's just around the corner. He says that there's no way that Nintendo's production will meet the demand, no way at all. He also said that, as a matter of fact, he can tell you that on the record, they will not, in any way, shape, or form, meet that holiday demand. So it might be a good tip to, go out and get your Wii now. And when you do get your new Wii, there is. Okay, go ahead.
I want to jump back on. You said that Sony and Microsoft. You said that Nintendo is not going to be lowering their price for the holidays. Have Sony and Microsoft actually officially declared that they're going to have price drops for the holiday on their consoles?
Well, yeah, actually, they have already dropped prices, and there's some price drops going into effect. I'd have to go back to. I'd have to go back into the PS3 and the 360 news, but let's see
I mean, I knew that they had dropped prices already
$100 and
because they had like a bunch of different things that are released. Like they had the new PS3 and some other stuff. I was just wondering if they were going to drop it again for the Christmas holiday.
No additional price drops. Just the price drops have already gone into place. I know. Was thinking. As a matter of fact, you can be assured that not only there's some rumors that are going around regarding the PS3. As a matter of fact, there's a 40 gigabyte hard drive machine that's being released in Europe. The larger machines are being taken off of the market in Europe. It is rumored that 40 gig system is coming to the U.S. and that retailers are having to make room on their shelves for the 40 gigabyte machine, and we may be losing the larger machine. There's also rumors that there's a 120 gig machine that's going into Japan, but that is not coming to the U.S. The 40 gig machine, instead of having 4 USB ports, only has 2. That it does not have backwards compatibility for PS2 games. That is going away with the PS3. And that...
Yeah, that's one thing that I was really debating about with my friend. With the new 40 gig, why would they take backwards compatibility out of it?
Well, and the question is that Sony says it's really not needed. That it's really not that important anymore. That the backwards compatibility was important in the beginning, when the games were that there were not that many games out there. It was really not important to have that many. Backwards compatibility was extremely important. But since there are so many games out there now for the PS3, no, we don't need backwards compatibility now.
Yeah, exactly.
News for you
I mean,
guys.
I argued the same thing. I said, hey, if you're going to buy the PlayStation 3 when it came out, then it's because you want the PlayStation 3, you probably want the backwards compatibility, you probably want to have the whole thing. But if your reason not to buy one at the beginning was that there weren't enough PlayStation 3 games to play on it, then your reason for purchase wasn't influenced by the presence of backwards compatibility, it was influenced by the lack of PS3 games. So if you're going to wait and buy one after there's PS3 games, then you weren't waiting for the backwards compatibility anyways. It's just kind of interesting how they evolved the backwards compatibility, because when the PS3 first came out, it had full backwards compatibility because it had the full, PlayStation 2 chipset inside. So it just literally, I've got one of the original PlayStation 3s, and when you start up the game, it practically reboots the machine and starts running it off the PlayStation 2 chip, and you've got to resync your controller with it because it's switching over. And then they made the new 60 gig unit between it was the new 60
gig.
Unit.
Yep.
Yeah, and that one had the software backwards compatibility where it would emulate the part of the Emotion engine on the PlayStation 2. And then they released, of course, this new 40 gig that has no backwards compatibility. And so the question was, what happened to the backwards compatibility? And if the thing is, here's the interesting argument: if it was purely an emulation thing, if the new 60 gig unit completely emulated the PlayStation 2, then there's no reason to take out the backwards emulation because it's just a bit of software on your computer. And so I've heard some different people digging in and kind of thinking about it from a technical perspective. They suggested that there are actually 2 key pieces of PlayStation 2 hardware. There's the Emotion engine, which is sort of the CPU of the PlayStation 2, and then there's the graphics synthesizer, the graphics processor chip from the PlayStation 2, and that on the 60 gig unit that uses emulation for backwards compatibility, they only emulate the Emotion engine. They still need the graphics synthesizer chip. And so that if they take the graphics synthesizer chip out, they take away all the backwards compatibility. So the reason for taking out all the backwards compatibility is in fact to save money by not putting that PS2 chip into the cheap unit. At least that's the rumor. That's what we suspect.
It is. It's the cheap unit. They're bringing down the price to about $400, and it's a 40 gig and dropping off a lot of stuff off of it. It'll still have of course, the Blu-ray, but they're saying, oh yeah, well, we don't need the backwards compatibility anymore, and don't need all this other great stuff. Don't need the multi-memory card reader and all that other great stuff. No, I don't need that anymore. No. Well,
yeah, they're just slimming it down to just be a simple PS3 gaming machine.
Exactly, and at this time, it might be the right time to do that too. But there's a lot of people out here that are saying, hey, look, I want a machine with the most power that I can get. And I want that, 60 gig, or I want the 120 gig machine. And there's going to be a big market for them, especially in the United States. There's always guys in the United States who, well, we want more power.
Well, I'm sure if they introduce the 40 gig unit to the U.S., they're not going to discontinue the full-fledged 80 gig one that they've got now with the partial backwards compatibility. I'm sure they're going to keep it in the market just because it's a really big profit margin on selling a $650 unit.
We shall see. We shall see. But getting back to the Wii news.
Sorry. Let's get back to the Wii.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Reggie was asked if he was concerned about the competition from Halo 3, and he said he doesn't believe that Halo 3 is really going to sell too many consoles, and that it's not going to sell too many more Xbox 360s, because people already have been with Xbox 360s have already been playing BioShock and Crackdown. He says he really doesn't believe that the Nintendo really needs to aggressively dive into the first-person shooter market in order to compete with Halo 3. Of course, there is the pending release of Metroid Prime 3, Mario Galaxy, Smash Brothers Brawl. Let's see, the second half. Yeah, that's all in the second half of 2007 here. So, tell me, Reggie. And along with the new Nintendo Wiis, I want you to understand that you are now going to receive a new little attachment as part of your Nintendo Wii for your Nintendo Wiimote. It's kind of a rubber thing for your Wiimote. It's a little glove. No, it's really not a condom, but it is a soft rubber thing to keep your Wiimote from, beating up people. You see, when the Wiimote first came out, it had this nice wrist strap, and you better use that wrist strap, because if you don't, it's gonna you're gonna wing that Wiimote. And people were getting too aggressive, and they were throwing the Wiimotes right through their television sets. They were throwing them into their ceiling fans, breaking furniture, busting people in the face with them. Well, so they strengthened the strap. Now, people are still, even with it in their hand, hitting people in the face. They're swinging them around aggressively and bashing furniture and TVs. And Nintendo says, "Oop, we got a problem here." So they unveiled this new accessory, and it's this really nice soft rubber jacket or glove that fits over the top of the Wiimote, and it allows you to kind of protect all of the stuff that is around you, like people and furniture and TVs, and so it's kind of a Wiimote, kind of a condom for your Wiimote to protect everything around you. So and now if you want to get, you already have your Wii bought. You can go online to GameSHOUT.com, find the story in the Nintendo Wii section. You click on the link in the story, and it'll take you right to the web page, and you can order up to 4 of these gloves for your Wiimote at no cost. Nintendo will send them right on to you. They're shipping them out as of Monday, the October 15th, and they're pretty little back ordered. But when you go into the store and pick up your new Nintendo Wiis, you're going to get these new little accessories with your new Wii. So you will be able to protect yourself and your friends with this new Wiimote.
You mean you'll be able to protect your Wii?
Yes, you'll be able to protect your Wii and everybody else's Wii as well.
So that's why they're on back order for producing the actual systems. They've put all their production into making these rubber thingies.
Yeah, something like that. Look, people tend to, file lawsuits for the most frivolous things, and I hit my friend with a Wiimote, and now he's going to sue me and Nintendo over that, and it's like, wow, So I guess they're just trying to protect themselves, and I guess protect everybody else with that, and I don't know, but it's just amazing. Nintendo keeps coming out with new things to protect us, and I'm calling this the Wii condom. All right, moving on. Let's head back over to Josh, because Josh, you were talking about a little earlier today. We were talking a little bit about Unreal Tournament 3 demo.
Well, the Unreal Tournament 3 beta demo has basically just hit today, finally. Anyone who is interested in picking it up, you can head on over to FilePlanet.com. It's the only place right now where you can pick up this beta for the game. So far, screenshots that I've seen of this game look flipping amazing. And as it stands right now, I'm actually in line to download my copy as we speak. So, looking forward to getting my hands on this, see how it runs. I mean, this game looks just jaw-dropping beautiful. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, too cool, man! Too cool. That's a good game to play. Now, have you been playing any other games this week that have really tripped your trigger?
Other games I've been playing. Well, I've been hardcoring a lot of Settlers of Catan on Xbox Live Arcade, as well as Feeding Frenzy. Two great games. Go download it. They're really cool. Check it out. I've also been doing some Team Fortress Classic in preparation for getting my copy of TF2, Halo 3, of course, some Guitar Hero. So I've been kind of keeping it pretty, spread out, making my options open, kind of that thing.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because I'm ready to give all of you guys a nice juicy slice of the orange box. It's been a few years, and Team Fortress 2, Portal, Half-Life 2 Episode 2 have finally been released. Well, Team Fortress 2 is the one that's been taking, in my opinion, the longest wait in the freaking world. Okay. Playing Team Fortress Classic and Team Fortress 2, there is such a huge difference between the two. I mean, this is probably one of the most fun cartoon games that I've gotten into, and it's a blast. Josh, there is such a huge difference between the two. It's remarkable. But getting back into playing Half-Life 2 Episode 2, oh man. Alex gets in trouble in this one, buddy. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, okay? But Alex gets in trouble, and the G-Man gets nasty. Gets really flipping nasty. Oh boy, does he get nasty! I found out some things last night. Oh, I gotta hold my tongue to keep from saying anything. You know what I mean? Now, and the other part of this, okay, is Portal. All right, there are two other parts. There's Half-Life 2 and Episode 1 that's part of this orange box. Now, those of you, like me, who already own Half-Life 2 and Episode 1, you were able to gift the games that you already own to somebody who does not own Half-Life 2 and Episode 1. So my son, who doesn't happen to own it, I was able to gift it to him. So you find somebody who you really like, and you can gift it to them. So Josh, you'll be able to share it with Tom or one of the other guys, and kind of be nice to somebody who you really care about. But yeah, everybody else is going to get jealous now. Okay, Portal. Portal is an extremely interesting new game. It's based off of the gravity gun. Only it does some new things. Not only does it pick things up, but it creates these portals that allow you to get from point A to point B. Let's say, for example, you are on one side of a trench, and you need to get to the other side of the trench, okay? And, well, let's say above you is the ceiling. And that ceiling happens to be, well, maybe coming down on top of you. So you've got a limited time in which to do so. So you shoot a portal to the other side of the trench and the wall on the other side of the trench. And then you shoot the wall next to you. And you walk through the hole in the wall next to you, and you come through the portal on the other side of the trench. Well, that seems pretty simple. But the puzzles will get progressively more and more difficult and more unusual, to where you do things like shooting a portal underneath a box and above the machine gun that is shooting you at the time, and where it drops the box on top of the machine gun, okay? Because you really can't shoot anything at the machine gun, or whatever the case. There's just a lot of interesting ways to accomplish these puzzles, and so it'll really keep you thinking. It's a unique way, I think, to look at a new game. So Portal, I think, is going to be an interesting addition to the Valve lineup. And as far as Team Fortress 2, I just can't say enough. It's just been a blast to play it. Great online game, a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get you in there. I typically play the most as the demo man, the demo man, demolition man. Yeah, I like to blow things up. Yeah, they go kaboom. You seen any of the trailers?
I've been watching those really
which
cool. Yeah, I've been watching those really cool little kind of trailers that they have, like meet the demo man, meet the heavy weapons guy, meet the soldier. Really hilarious.
They are. They're a blast. And really, the game, it used to focus more on, in Team Fortress Classic, more on kind of realism and kind of, teamwork. And they haven't taken the teamwork out of it. But they've said, forget the realism, let's just have some fun. And that's really what they've done. And the fun is definitely there. So, I will suggest that jump in there, get your orange box, have some fun. It is a blast. All right, what else we got, guys?
Oh, hey, I got something. I don't know if you want me to talk about it. Remember I was telling you about Chronex? Do I get to talk about Chronex?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, okay. So here's the interesting thing. Back in 1997, there was a game called Chronex that was developed for the internet, which was the first online-only collectible card game. You played Magic the Gathering or whatever. You buy the cards, you build your deck, and you play against other people.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so Chronex was the first one that was entirely online, so you'd buy packs of virtual cards, build a virtual deck, and play virtually on the internet. And it was really cool because, of course, the virtual game space for the card game meant that you can do a lot of things that you couldn't do with an actual card game on actual tables, such as having stealth, because the computer system could hide your cards from your opponent when you play them in the game space. And you could also have multiple game fields. Like the game was set where you'd play across an area, like a continent, where you'd have different playing fields in each city, and then you could actually move your units from one playing field to the other, or build bases, build base cards. Anyway, it's a really cool game system, and I really liked it. But it never really caught on because, of course, you're buying packs of cards that you are online only. You'd have to log in to play with them. You can't just take your cards, in your pocket to wherever you're going. It never really caught on, but it nevertheless managed to stay, going from the hands of one publisher to another for over 10 years. Well, for exactly 10 years. It's actually coming up on its 10th anniversary, and it has once again changed hands. And the new group of people who are going to be looking out for Chronex. Let me see if I can remember the name of... Oh crap! I forgot who's doing it.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me I'm going to have to dig through my... Here, let me dig through my...
I thought I had it right here in front of me.
Sky.
Darkened Sky. There we go. Thanks.
Yep. Sure thing. Colin David.
Yeah, Darkened
Matt
Sky
Holden.
is going to be... Matt Holden from Darkened Sky. I actually emailed him and started talking to him about it. And when they're getting closer to releasing it, they're going to come on the air and do an interview with us. But what's interesting is that for the first time in 10 years, they're going to be overhauling the actual game client. It's actually been using the same legacy game client for 10 years now, and it looks rather dated. And I was talking with him about the technical issues, the server that they had to put together to run it, and it's all really, really hacked code. I mean, it was built 10 years ago, and it wasn't meant to last 10 years. It has a lot of proprietary stuff. So anyway, they're going to be rebuilding it using Web 2.0. So essentially they're going to make a web-based client for it using Java and whatnot, so that you'll be able to play it without having to download the client. You can go anywhere, log on someone's computer, log on to your account, and all your cards and everything's going to be right there, and you can just start playing. They're also going to be adding in features that allow you to play games over time, where you make your move and then log out and then log back in and make another move, kind of like the play by email modes that are available in some older games. and they're going to be making the game free. You're going to be able to, instead of having to buy your packs of cards, you're going to earn sort of game credits by playing the game, and then use those game credits to get packs of cards. So it should appeal to a much larger audience, because you get your cards by playing the game as opposed to having to buy all the booster packs. So I just thought that's cool, and I'm going to be keeping track of this, and you guys can check out Chronex, especially when they come out with the new Web 2.0 version.
And when they do, we're going to get them on the show and do an interview when it comes closer to the release date.
Yep, it's going to be good stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to playing Chronex again.
Sounds great. Well, hey, I guess with that, you know what time it is, guys?
What time is it?
Come on, let's do that with a little bit more passion.
Time for the MMO news!
It's time for the wild, the wet, the wonderful, and the wacky news from around the world. That's right, boys and girls, it's time for some of the most interesting, strange, the wacky, wild, and weird stuff that I come up with from all over the world. That's right, the wacky news from around the world. And we're going to start off today with a little something out of Seattle, Washington. I always, every time I think of Seattle, I always think of an old acquaintance of ours from up in that area. This is called Do It Yourself. A man, he went through the checkout station at the Home Depot in Seattle, Washington. He accidentally pushed a button for the computer to, well, speak Spanish. The man apparently became quite frustrated when the machine started speaking Spanish to him, according to the resulting police report. The first item the man was trying to buy was a pry bar. Yeah, that's right. He used the pry bar to smash the computer. Then he dropped the pry bar in the shopping cart and walked out of the store. The store said the man, who was not found by the police, caused about $10,000 worth of damage. I guess it's a good thing he wasn't buying a chainsaw, huh? Now, moving on to Reno, you probably heard about this one. And again, when I think of this story, I think of that same person that we used to know from Seattle area and Washington. You guys know who I'm talking about, don't you?
No. I didn't know anyone.
Come on.
There.
Yeah, you do. Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it sounds like something he'd do. Not as much that as this. If he had any young children, a security guard at the newly reopened Mustang Ranch brothel heard a child crying in the parking lot. You probably heard about this. The security guard investigated. He found a 2-year-old girl left alone in a parked car out there. He brought the girl inside and called the sheriff. The deputies say the girl was probably left alone for about 2 hours in the car in 95-degree weather. All right. She was treated for dehydration at a local hospital. Now, once the father, Lucian Hoffman, he's from Bend, Oregon. Again, this same neighborhood. He finally emerged from the brothel. He was arrested on charges of child neglect. But again, I asked this question. How can a guy that's this stupid afford 2 hours at the Mustang Ranch? You know? Sorry, I had to hit the cough button on that one. All right, to protect and to serve. Oh gosh, I don't know where we come up with these, but this one is from the London Daily Mail. To protect and to serve. I was walking along the pavement, and I heard the police car siren coming behind us. That, according to Daniel Horn, 28. Well, he was walking home. He was in Wales. He was on the sidewalk. The police car jumped up off the roadway and hit him. He said the car ran over my right leg, and I fell over with my foot being crushed under the front wheel of the patrol car. Well, the apologetic officer took Horn to the hospital, stayed with him for 3 hours as his foot was put in the cast, gave him a ride home. But Horn's ordeal wasn't over. The officer then cited him for critical damage. That's right, denting the police car. It carries a $160 or 80-pound fine. He then hired a lawyer, Horn did, hired a lawyer to fight the fine and sue the police. The police spokesman said that they have received the complaint from Mr. Horn and are looking into it. Of course, they will probably charge a mere 80-pound fine for the 80-pound investigation fee for the investigation of that incident. Okay, moving on. Jeez. Well, we will not be intimidated. That's right. When the Japanese Prime Minister, Shinzo Abe, didn't visit the Shinto War Shrine on the anniversary of Japan's surrender of World War II, Yoshihiro Tanjo, 54, who heads the right-wing political group, was so incensed. Abe had avoided the shrine in an attempt to improve relations with China and South Korea, but Tanjo protested by cutting off his little finger and sending it to the Prime Minister. Included in the package, a DVD with very graphic images of him chopping off his finger, which he filmed himself, by the way. I think he should get an Academy Award for it, by the way. Just my own personal opinion. Tanjo was arrested and charged with intimidation. You see, in the U.S., we often give the finger to politicians. But it's just a brief loan here. All right, let's move on to Turf Battle. Oh, gosh. You guys just aren't... Oh, you guys... I'll tell you what. Just that's right. There. This is for all my friends
like
back
song.
here. Yeah, me too. Since we're going to move on to a turf battle, I decided we need to have some badgers along with our... That's right. A snake, a snake. Okay. We're not in the business of claims, said the spokesman for AIG Private Client Group, which specializes in insuring homes valued at more than $1 million. We're in the business of preventing them. So when the wildfire in Ketchum, Idaho threatened a number of homes that the company insures, it sent a private fire crew out to the area to protect those homes. The U.S. Forest Service, which had no problem with the contract firefighters ensuring that the homes were not lost, but the local police, they did have a problem with it. They said it sounds ridiculous to me, but the Ketchum Police Department spokesman Kim Rogers says, This is a Forest Service fire, not a private fire. No homes protected by AIG or not were lost in the fire. It consumed about 50,000 acres. Okay, look. AIG's mistake number 1, forgetting what the goal was. Mistake number 2, the police department's mistake number 1, forgetting what the goal is. Number 2 is forgetting that civilians, who of course have more at stake than bureaucrats, can be a part of the team. But anyhow, so AIG, kudos for saving some homes. Jeez. And police department, go sit down. Oh gosh! All right, let's move on down to Naples, Florida. That was kind of cool. Brazilian juvenile delinquents. Austin Perkins. He's 17. He's a senior at Golden Gate High School in Naples, Florida. Check this out. He's one of several students. He was sent to the office for violating the school's dress code. Okay, he's violated the school dress code. What did he do? Well, this group of students, they had been talked to before, according to Principal Bob Spano, because there was a group of them. It sort of brought attention to it. The violation? The students wore coats and ties to school. That's right, suits and ties. But the school dress code says business dress, according to Perkins. A coat and tie are business dress. The boys? Yeah, they received in-school suspensions for exceeding the school dress code. Exceeding. You guys get this? Exceeding the school dress code. They got suspension. And what does Exactly. Does the principal Spano wear to school? I'd like to know that myself. Does he wear shorts and a t-shirt maybe? Yeah, probably. Well, let's jump to some conclusions. Police in southern Germany said they found Skippy, a kangaroo that had been reported missing from the petting zoo in Bad Wursach. Wursach. The roo, he'd been hit by a car near Krumbach and killed, according to police. But I don't think it was a deliberate suicide, according to the police spokesman. He was just hopping about. But Skippy's owner, he insisted it couldn't have been Skippy and refused to come identify the body. The police, they responded that the marsupial matched the description and no other kangaroos had been reported missing. How many kangaroos are in Germany, right? Several days later, the owner was proved right. A much alive Skippy was captured near Ravensburg and returned to the zoo. Identification of the decoy kangaroo is apparently still pending. I want a song for that. You know, kangaroo, 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 kangaroo. Okay. Hey, how about this new jeweler? He made a gold lingerie. I've got put your money where your mouth is. Yeah, a Chinese jewelry store has made a set of women's lingerie out of solid gold. It took a team of 4 goldsmiths to make the gold underwear, which weighs 950 grams. The owner of this this gold store in Shenyang City said it's the first of its kind in China. That's for demonstration. It's not for sale. However, the store says that the gold bra and panties would be worth $26,500 if they were for sale. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Josh, you want to know what to get your girlfriend for Christmas?
From you, no, unfortunately.
Yeah, really. All right. Croatian mom sues her teacher over her son's grades. Yes, this Croatian mom is taking her 10-year-old son's teachers to court after they gave her son consistently bad marks. Yep, Anna Pavlovic said that her son's marks got worse after she complained to the headmaster's wife, and then they became aggressive towards her son. That's right. She claimed that since the headmaster had told the teacher to give the boy bad marks, that's what happened. That she complained that she noticed the son's marks got worse and worse, and I decided to take action to make sure it was stopped. But the teacher of the primary school said the boy was given bad marks because he's a poor student. More on that as the story develops. Okay. All right. Let's go to our... oh gosh, yes. Let's go to our final story of the day here. This is just too off the wall. Where is this out of? Oh gosh, I don't even. I'll get. It's got to be here. This gay peacock tried to have sex with a car. It's just too. An aristocrat claims a peacock cost 4,000. Yeah, it's out of the UK. 4,000 pounds damage to his blue Lexus car by trying to have sex with it. That's right. Barnett Sir Benjamin Slade has put in a claim to insurers to cover the damage to his employee's car. This is according to the London Daily Telegraph. He's also put up warning signs at the house in Somerset after the peacock blue Lexus, get it, peacock blue, was scratched and dented by this amorous bird. The incident proves the bird is gay, according to Sir Benjamin, because, well, peahens are brown and only the males are blue. That's right. He says that the male damaged the car because it looks like another peacock boy. Kinky. He said that he attacked the panels so hard that the car needs a total repaint. A total new paint job. The insurers, Lloyd's of London, are not happy about it. They claim that out of all sorts of things like lions, that they've had claims for all sorts of things like lions biting people, but they've never heard of a peacock sexually attacking a car before. As a matter of fact, he said I've had to ban peacock blue Lexus cars from the car park. Sir Benjamin Slade previously attracted the attention when he sent out advertisements seeking an heir for his estate so that he could live in a council house instead. Okay, so if you've got a peacock blue Lexus, whatever you do, don't park it near a male peacock. At least not near a gay male peacock. Well, that's it for the wacky news from around the world, and boys and girls, that's going to be it for GameSHOUT Radio for this week. Don't forget to head over to GameSHOUT.com to check all that's wild and new in the world of gaming. And be sure to head over to the IRC GamesNet channel, the radio channel on IRC GamesNet. I'm hanging around in there. You might be able to catch me once in a while when I'm not working. And then if you are in Muskegon, Michigan, next Wednesday, October 17th from 3 to 5, I'm going to be out there with my cohort, Islander, at the Muskegon Community College for the Halo 3 celebration. The celebration will go on from 1 to 7 p.m. That's Muskegon Community College in Muskegon, Michigan. And until then, until next week, this is Captain Maverick along with Josh.
Soulrift.
Peace.
Soulrift.
Take care, guys.
And saying, be good and be there. We'll see you next week, guys.
This is GameSHOUT Radio, the #1 talk game station in the world. Visit GameSHOUT.com for more info. GameSHOUT. GameSHOUT.